Let's bring you up to date on the wildfire situation in Manitoba. There are still 7 fires out of control, but they're no longer threatening communities, and the state of emergency province-wide is over. Meaning things are improving enough that today, in just a matter of hours, evacuees from Flin Flon, Manitoba can go home. They have been away for nearly a month.
We're stocked up. We've already got groceries. We're ready to go. 9 o'clock when that opens, we're going to be one of the first ones in line. We want to get home.
It's going to be different because of the forest fire, of course. But then I think the change, maybe we can improve as a community and start growing a little bit stronger after this. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
The voices of people from Flin Flon, nearly 5,000 people in the community will be able to re-enter Flin Flon. As you heard the gentleman there, 9 o'clock local time. That's when the mandatory evacuation notice is set to be lifted. Most evacuees have been in temporary accommodations across the province ever since they were forced out of their homes. The concern, or one of the concerns, is how heavy the traffic's going to be on that highway going into the community. And as we look at scenes again of the area from the sky, the fast-moving wildfire that sparked the evacuation order, it's still burning, it's still considered out of control, but the community is protected and officials believe it is now safe to return. One of those officials has been our guest on a number of occasions throughout this whole episode. Let's reconnect with the mayor of Flin Flon, George Fontaine, who's in Winnipeg himself, and he too set to go home. Mayor Fontaine, good morning and welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, how does this day feel to you as you start this Wednesday of homecoming?
Well, I think it's a real good feeling for everybody. It's a little nervous about how it's going to all go, but I think it'll be just fine. It'll be a little more orderly, I assume, on the return. It was very orderly with people left. It was just, it was very, very congested. But I think this is spread over the course of a day rather than over the course of an hour. So I think that's going to make a difference.
And even though there'll be lots of people on that highway, you think the drive-in should go smoothly?
Oh, smoothly, I hope so. I mean, everybody, recognized the issues when they're coming out, and they told me, for miles and miles, people just followed in an orderly fashion, and the behavior is correct. It was good under a real tense situation, and this isn't a tense situation. I mean, it's a relief type of a situation, but not tense. So I'm assuming it's going to be fine.
I hope it's a joyous situation. You heard those little clips from people in your community saying they can't wait to get in there, and the minute the evacuation order lifts, they're going to be on the road and heading in. But maybe a little bit of nervousness as to what they will find. What does Flin Flon look like? What's the condition of the community? What will they be returning to?
Well, I think that actually inside the community, like when I left, I was one of the last ones to leave with the actual evacuation, and everything was intact, and I'm told that that's the case still now. So once they get into the community, it's going to be similar, although it depends on when they get in. If they're one of the first ones in, they're going to find it pretty empty compared to what they're used to. But I think that over the course of the day is going to become something very, very different as well.
So when I hear you say that it's going to be a relief, they're going to see a community largely unchanged, I'm going to play a little bit of tape from a previous conversation we had. It was on the Friday before you yourself were going to be forced out of the community. And this is what you said to me at the time about the danger that was looming for your home. Let's just revisit this and then we'll talk again in just a moment.
But once we drive away, that's it. I'm not sure when we'll be able to come back in here, when or if,
Wow, that is fearful. How are you feeling?
Fearful. Everyone's feeling fearful. We've gone to our homes and we just looked at it, and there's nothing you can do. Nature will take its course. I'd love to be back on the radio with you, some TV with you sometime in the near future and say, wow, we dodged a bullet. But at this particular point in time, it's not looking good at all.
That conversation really stuck with me, Mayor. And I would say to you, to paraphrase you yourself, wow, you dodged a bullet. What sense do you make of that?
Well, exactly what you said. I would have exactly repeated it had you not done that. Yes, because when I left, the conditions were such that, the plans were made to protect the community. Included in the plans were escape plans for the firemen if they couldn't, outrun the fire, and how they were going to do it. Like, every one of these things was considered, because it was a very, very, very tense situation. So they were there taking care of things with no idea what the end result would be. And it's turned out to be a very positive end result for the community of Flin Flon. And now our neighbors have suffered some catastrophic losses, and our hearts go out to them. But our own physical community, it's still there.
That's just incredible. And yet, I'm wondering what, if any, the psychological impact of this could be on the people of your community, what the legacy of this fire could be, in your view.
Well, I think that it's going to weigh on people's minds. I noticed, I was reading the paper this morning, and some people say, well, I'm going to keep a bag packed from now on, be ready for an emergency. I hope that we're in a safer situation after this than we were prior to the fire. But again, I think it's going to be a different feeling for everybody. I know that there's going to be some specialists in Flin Flon waiting to meet people who might need them for, mental assurances and that sort of a thing. So we'll do what we can on that part. But yeah, it's going to have an effect on people. They're going to be cautious for a while.
And I would think so, because I've been checking the forecast, and you know what it says: hot and dry summer ahead with the risk of new fires. So it's not completely safe as you return home, and that's got to be weighing on people too, even as they are excited to return to their homes.
I think it will be. It'll be on people's minds. I think they'll also be very careful about taking any chances with fire for the next little while until conditions change, because it is dry up there still, and there is some fuel sources close to the community still unburned. There's lots that were taken away, but there's still some unburned. So yeah, there'll be some thought in people's minds, and there should be.
Mayor Fontaine, for me, it's a nice opportunity. I spoke to you when you were having to leave your home because the risk was so great, and on the day where you and the rest of your community get to go home. It's very nice to have some more time again this morning, with a much happier outcome to report. Thank you for the conversations, and thank you for today.
Well, thanks everybody for caring, and for all the help that's been provided to all the evacuees. They've been treated as a whole very, very well, and it's much appreciated.
Mayor George Fontaine from Winnipeg. On the day everyone in Flin Flon can go home. Thanks again, sir.